2007 was the year of the Spider-Man. On consoles, we got a sprawling, if somewhat clunky, 3D version of New York. This wasn't a port of the console game. It was a completely separate beast developed by a studio called JavaGround and published by Sony Pictures Mobile. You move Spider-Man from left to right, beating up thugs, crawling up walls, and swinging across gaps. But unlike many licensed side-scrollers of the era, Spider-Man 3 actually tried to simulate the freedom of movement. You have an unlimited supply of web fluid. By pressing a button, Spidey shoots a line to the top of the screen, allowing you to swing over rooftops. It feels surprisingly fluid for a Java game. That's where the game shines. It really captures that verticality you expect from a wall crawler. You have an unlimited supply of web fluid. By pressing a button, Spidey shoots a line to the top of the screen, allowing you to swing over rooftops. It feels surprisingly fluid for a Java game. The IGN review from 2007 points out one funny detail: Spider-Man has an odd gait. That's a polite way of saying he runs like he's walking through wet cement. But when you're in the air, zipping between billboards, that's where the game shines. It really captures that verticality you expect from a wall crawler. IGN famously described the plot as fractured and completely useless. One minute you are fighting street thugs in the red suit, the next you are suddenly in the black suit with no explanation. There are no cutscenes or text scrolls that really explain the symbiote. It just assumes you saw the movie. For a kid on a bus in 2007, that was fine, you just wanted to punch Sandman. But looking back, it feels like a best hits montage rather than a story. But it represents a lost art. The art of squeezing a blockbuster movie into 500 kilobytes. The web swinging is fun, the black suit health drain mechanic is innovative, and for a 10-minute bus ride, beating up the Sandman on a 1.8-inch screen was pure magic. It's clunky, it's short, but it's ours. If you played this on your old flip phone back in the day, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more retro mobile deep dives. When PopCap Games released Zuma's Revenge on PC in 2009, it was a massive hit. It was the sequel to the 2003 classic Zuma, and it brought HD graphics and boss battles to our desktops. But for many of us, the first time we met this frog wasn't on a computer monitor. It was on a Nokia, a Sony Ericsson, or a BlackBerry. For the uninitiated, Zuma's Revenge has a simple but addictive loop. A chain of colorful balls rolls along a winding path, heading toward a golden skull mouth. If the chain reaches the skull, you lose. Your job is to control a frog idol in the center of the screen, shooting colored balls from your mouth to match 3 or more of the same color, making them disappear. What made Revenge special on mobile was the introduction of new mechanics. You weren't just stuck in one spot anymore. In many levels, the frog could hop between 2 lily pads using the keypad, or slide along a track to get a better angle. This added a layer of strategy that was rare for puzzle games on the go. You had to think fast, aim faster, and pray that your phone's processor could keep up with the action. The mobile port wasn't a perfect copy of the PC game. The Java version had to make sacrifices. First, the graphics were reduced. The vibrant, hand-drawn backgrounds of the Polynesian islands became pixelated static images. The animations were choppier, but what it lost in visuals, it tried to make up for in content. Interestingly, the Java version had some unique quirks. For example, the gray balls that acted as obstacles in the PC game. They aren't present in the Java edition. Also, the difficulty curve was steep. On PC, you had lives. On some mobile versions, you would lose a massive 5 million points if you died, punishing mistakes harshly. On PC, you fought the giant Tiki, Godshaka, Mew, and others. In the mobile version, the final boss sequence was altered. There is no Drumstick Willy fake-out boss present in the Java port. The dialogue was shortened to save space. It was a best hits version of the game, lean, mean, and designed to fit in under 1 megabyte. One of the coolest exclusive features of the Java version was how it handled unlocks. In the PC version, you had Iron Frog mode. In this mobile port, after defeating the first boss, you unlocked something called Gauntlet mode. Gauntlet mode was a survival challenge. It stripped away the story and just threw wave after wave of balls at you. There were no power-ups to save you, just pure skill. It was the ultimate test for commuters. Could you clear a level before your bus arrived? This mode gave the Java version a longevity that many other puzzle games lacked at the time. Unlike standard 11 versus 11 simulators, Ultimate Street Football focuses on the fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled world of 3 versus 3 street soccer. The camera sits in an isometric 3D view, which was technically stunning for a Java phone. It allowed for fluid movement in 8 directions. The controls are simple but deep. You've got your virtual D-pad for movement, an action button for passing or tackling, and a special trick button. But the magic happens when you combine these buttons with different contexts. If you tap the trick button while standing still, you might juggle the ball. The game had a surprisingly fluid combo system. O could knock the ball over a defender's head, volley it off the wall, or slide tackle someone into the ads boards. It felt less like a simulation and more like an arcade fighting game with a ball. Street Football wasn't just a pick-up and play title, it had depth. The main single-player mode is a tournament ladder. You start with a generic team of rookies, playing on gritty courts from a neon-lit Tokyo rooftop to a dusty Rio de Janeiro favela. As you win matches, you earn cash. This is where the RPG elements kick in. You walk into a shop screen where you can buy stat boosts, faster sprint speed, harder shots, or better technique, as well as cosmetic gear like new sneakers or headbands. Playing it today highlights just how much mobile gaming has changed. Modern mobile games are often free to play, riddled with energy timers and pay-to-win loot boxes. Ultimate Street Football represents a lost era: pay once, play forever, and rely purely on skill. It was a full, uncompromised arcade sports game in your pocket. If you beat the hardest difficulty, you could unlock the All-Stars or the Mystery Team. And let's be honest, who didn't try to enter the cheat code freestyle to unlock everything instantly? The difficulty curve was steep. The AI on hard mode was relentless, reading your passes and intercepting like Prime Maldini on concrete. The particle effects for dust kicking up or sparks flying from a metal goal were top tier. The audio also punches above its weight class. The soundtrack is a loop of high-energy, breakbeat electronic music that sounds like it belongs in a Tony Hawk game. It keeps the pressure high. The announcer, with his heavily compressed voice yelling "oh" or "what a goal" every time you score, adds to the arcade charm.